welcome back to another video. Welcome to Twisted Draw Stuff, where we are not an STD, but rather a TDS, Twisted Draw Stuff. Anyways, still working out the kinks to that intro. This is the third time I've said it. I'm kind of still workshopping it. I want to make it funny, but at the same time, make sense, you know? Please watch my old channel last video so that you understand what's going on. But anyways, today we're going to be reviewing this art piece, which was inspired by this song called BUZZZN. BUZZZN. But anyways, this is based off of the character from Hell of a Boss, Beelzebub, or if you know it, Queen Bee, who is kind of like a partier. If you've listened to, I'm pretty sure, Katy Perry's Last Friday Night, that's pretty close to that's pretty close to her personality. But yeah, so like for this, I wanted the emotion. If you listen to music, I wanted to get the emotion right to kind of make her feel like a party girl kind of situation. She didn't care. She's just there for the vibes. And I think I nailed that pretty good. But like all the other videos, okay, we got it. But like all my other videos I've posted thus far, let's go into some of the mistakes. I'm kind of like looking around because I honestly feel like I did a pretty damn good job on this one. I'm really proud of this art piece. Although starting off, I will say number one, I could have made this a little more detailed. In the show, she's drinking from a beer, kind of like gallon jug, and it's shaped as a beehive. It did have more detail than this, however, and some of the details on this are wrong. For example, you see this tube right here that's going to her mouth where she's like drinking the beer. In the show, that's actually a lot thinner. I could have changed that to make it work. You know, I could have done something like that to just like make it look more like the show. Here you can see there was, you know, you can't see because I didn't tell you what there was. Anyways, you can see that it just kind of like connects. There's nothing really showing anything else. It just like connects to nothing in a way, which was kind of lazy. In the show, there was a top kind of like lid to the container, but it got flipped upside down, which is what she's drinking out of right now. But that's where their straw, like their, I don't know, like, weird, they had some weird straws. They're like cords, kind of. It's cord straws. Anyways, if you've seen the episode, you'd understand what I'm talking about. If not, go check out Hell of a Boss Season 1, Episode 8, where this is featured. Yes, I know the episodes by heart, and I know what each one has in it. Anyways, let's dive into some specifics here. Some other stuff. I could have done kind of a mouth shape here to kind of show like kind of like a sucking motion to like show she's sucking beer out of the thing. Some people can't actually tell what's in there. It looks more like she's drinking honey than beer, but this is like a beer honey kind of thing. I could have done something to add more of a mouth shape, because if you look under this, oh my god, she doesn't have a mouth? Yeah, that's right. Artists use shortcuts. Some of those shortcuts, you know, tend to not work out the way we want them to. So what I could have done is maybe draw like a shape here, something like this. If I actually, here, could have used a free liner. This is my free liner brush. I did not make it. I downloaded it, but it is free. I could have done something like this. Just something to show like, not like that. I could have done something to kind of show, I don't know, something here to show that she was drinking out of this. But I didn't, because I'm not really comfortable doing that. And what I said in my last video, oh shoot, artists should practice things they're not comfortable with. Quote from Sam Does Art. Sam draws stuff. I forgot. I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, Sam does art. Sam does art. 99% sure. I'll look it up. I'll look it up so I don't make the same mistake in the next video. Anyways, but yes, you know, you should practice things you're not comfortable with because it'll make you better. For example, I was not very confident with hands. Look at how freaking good these hands are. I'm really loving these hands. They don't look that bad. I think I overall did a pretty good job with drawing these hands. But a few more things I want to point out. Actually, just like kind of like one more thing. No, two. Sorry, two more things. One thing is that with me not having access to the bucket tool, I kind of missed some spots when I was filling in color. If you look at the... Be quiet. If you... Oh, that's cool. Drunk Jazz. That's what the name is. Anyways, if you look at this as a whole, it looks fine. But when you zoom in, you start to notice some things. You see that? There's like a hole right there in her arm. That's... Hold on. If I go under that layer and I actually draw... Like, look. You can see there's a hole right there. Like, that shouldn't be there. It's like showing gaps within my artwork. That's also similar to up here. You see those like weird colors? That's actually the background behind her, which shouldn't be visible. So maybe just like going back to make sure I filled in every gap next time. I'm pretty sure there's a few up in the ears. Maybe there's some stuff like with this fine liner brush. The ear looks a little off. It looks like it just kind of like abruptly stops kind of right there. You can see another hole up here. Like, you know, even with all the things that make this art piece look so good, it's not perfect. And it could be better. But for my level of art, it's not bad. Something else is, you see this right here? It's kind of hard at a distance. Kind of hard at a distance to see that those legs aren't connected. It kind of looks a little bit like they're connected, kind of. That's taken away by the fact that you can see the difference in the legs here, but maybe using a brighter gradient of this color for this leg and a little bit of a darker one for this leg could have shown the difference between the two. I tried to add some shadow to reinforce that, but I could have done more. Other than that, I think it overall catches what I wanted for this art piece, and I think I did a pretty stellar job. But now let's dive into the behind the scenes. Here we go. I'm not going to use a lot of editing for my videos because I just like them to be... I like them to be down to earth. As you can see here, this is where I started the sketch. I'll let this play out a little bit. But yeah, you can see I was copying from a reference and getting every detail right. And this is how it looked in the first draft. Pretty strange. Artists, you know, they don't... For people who don't know, like, you're just kind of watching this out of curiosity. Oh, cool, this is somebody talking about art. Artists don't just start looking like this. My God, I wish we did. But it's got a process. And animation is no different. Kind of. If it's different, it's mainly just because it's a lot harder to do. For the hands, you can see they were really rough at first. Like, look, this hand right here didn't even have detail for the fingers. It was just like a sketch, and then I came back and did the detail for the fingers. But yeah, if you look up Queen Bee, you can see a reference of her. I'm not sure which reference specifically I used for this. I think I just tried my best with body proportions. But yeah, if you take a look at this, it started looking like this, and ended up that final sketch looking like this, which honestly isn't that bad. Something that artists will do, if you didn't know, is if they have complications with making something look perfect in the sketch, they'll usually just make a blob or like kind of like similar shape to what they want, kind of like this, and then they'll come back to it later and fix it up when they're doing the actual like liner for it. Sadly, the same situation with my glitz and glam art. If you didn't watch that video, I'd suggest go watching that. My bucket tool didn't work. So that means I had to remotely fill in the detail. So you can see here, like if you pay close attention, I didn't just automatically fill in stuff. I was drawing it in, which was a pain in the ass. But overall, I think it was worth it. The drawing turned out freaking amazing. But yeah, I'll just let this run for a minute so you guys can actually watch this time lapse for a second. And as you can see, if you look in the top right corner of the screen, you can see how long it actually took for me to make this art piece, which was about, yikes, man, 2 hours. Not ideal. Okay, I'll actually comment on this. Her hair is weird. It's honey. She's made of honey, kind of. You see those bubbles? She's got like liquid in her abdomen. It's like bubbling. Her torso is a lava lamp in the show. It looks like a freaking lava lamp. So does her hair and her tail. And so I was like, how the hell am I gonna draw this? So I just tried my best, and I think my best was overall pretty good. I do actually have 2 versions of this, and as you can see, hold on, before I go to the 2 versions of this drawing, you can kind of see in the background, I put my name, my watermark in the background so you can see it, but it doesn't take away from the actual art piece. So if you go looking around the edges, you can see the watermark, but if you're just focusing solely on this, it doesn't ruin the art piece. But yes, that is the behind the scenes, and really quickly I will show you the 2 differences. Number 1, if we take a look at this, hold on, where are you? Oh, it's not you, it's this. So if we actually take a look, there's 2 versions to this art piece. Number 1 is there's one that's just this. It doesn't have this effect to it. It's just this. I don't know why, I just really like using this effect. But there are 2 different versions of that. Along with the hair, there's also 2 different versions of the hair as well. There's one with just this, and then there's one with that kind of effect to it. That kind of glitchy effect. I don't know, I'm just really obsessed with using that effect. Some artists just get really obsessed with using certain effects in their artist apps and using their tools. But anyways, that's it from me. That's my behind the scenes for this art piece right here. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.